Windfall, wonderful audience. We run, we win. This is James. We are talking about castling today. So we just have the kings and the two rooks. And this is what we get to do when it comes to castling. The castling, we have several. First of all, we have this. We'll move it this way so you can see from this perspective. What's the name of castling is simply when the king moves this way and the rook goes on this side of him to protect him. Because if you have pawns up here, you can protect your king. Or if the king moves this way, but the king only moves 2 times. So if he goes this way, he'd be closed. You know, he's closed in by the rook. But if he moves this way, this rook would move. So we get it. And then from this perspective, the king can move this way and castle, or from his original spot, he can move this way. That's why we call castling. It's a neat little thing. It's the only time that we have two. It seems to be the only time we have 2 pieces moving. Now, the issue about castling is that it does have certain rules. First of all, the king. Wait, the king has not moved. I was verifying. The king has not moved, nor the rooks. If you want to castle with this one, this king and this rook cannot move. This king, if he wants to castle with this one, this king and this rook cannot move. So king can never have moved the entire game. Rook can never have moved the entire game. So that means he can't be like going this way, and then all of a sudden, oh, I want to move 2 over and move the rook and protect myself. No, it doesn't work that way. It has to be, he cannot, neither the king nor the rook has moved. Now, the king cannot be in check, which we'll discuss later. But if the king is in check, then that means, which is about to, we'll talk about check later in another video, probably the next one, God willing. But when the king, if he's in check, he can't move out of check and castle. So it has to be like in a safe environment. He's not under fire. Someone's trying to capture the king. So he can't be in check, and he can't move through check. So if this rook was here, if this king wanted to castle, he could castle this way, because he's not in check. I mean, he's not crossing through check. But if he could not castle this way, one, because he'd be moving into check, so that doesn't work. Let's move this over here. So he can't castle over here. No, a king is not allowed to move into check. We'll talk about, we already said that, you know, a king can't move into check. But if it's here and he's not in check and he wants to castle, he can't castle this way because he is castling through the potential that would make him in check. So he couldn't go this way, but he can go this way. So that would work right there. So this king could castle, he'd be fine, you know, and that's how that works. So there's the castling moves, and the castling rook can move, and there's obviously, there can't be this. Oh, well, not this one, that wouldn't work. Let's say that the queen, he can't jump over her. He can't jump, you know, he doesn't, the only person who can jump is a knight, the horse. So he can't jump. Well, that doesn't even work. How we do this? We'll do it like this. We'll use the, I was like trying to make, where's our bishop? Let's see it like this, because he would move over 2 places. So we got to do that. So never mind that. He can't go this way. Well, that wouldn't work either, because he can't move through a piece. So that wouldn't work. So I'm not sure how it would even work in the first place. So, but he can't move through. So there, that's, wow. Because if he moves 2, then yeah, I guess this would be simpler with the queen, because he'd move 2 places here. But that wouldn't work because there's a rook there. But either way, it says he can't jump players, but it seems like you couldn't do it anyway. Because if he jumped, if the bishop was here, then the rook would have to do something with the bishop. So obviously that's probably why that rule's there. But in all actuality, it seems absurd. But that is castling, and that is the only time you move two pieces at the same time. So that's your way to protect yourself. If you got some pawns here, and the bishop's gone, the horse is gone, you want to move your thing, and then you got a nice little thing to protect. Or if you have a bunch of pawns here, then you can move over 2 and close your king in, and he can be protected, because the most important thing is to protect the king. And so have a wonderful evening. Remember, live, move, be.